Eric Mother at mother.com. Let's take a look at an IPO stock here, SITE, and see why it's coming off the highs recently and has been drifting lower. Now the first thing we can see that this is the current all-time daily closing high. Now the problem with this high is that when the stock recorded this, of course there was an improvement in terms of daily closing highs here, but this happened with the RSI failing to make a higher high. So this RSI point here, in other words, gave us negative divergence, suggesting that technically it wasn't as strong. That's why we get this daily closing high. We haven't closed above that since then. And in fact, you'll notice that a trend line developed here in terms of the daily RSI, this being the top in terms of daily closing highs, and then resistance on this same level for the highs there. And then we tried to move higher again, but made another lower high in terms of the RSI for the highs there. So the stock was running out of technical strength, and of course since then, after these attempts to move higher, it failed, and now we see the consequence of that is lower prices. Now take a look at another view, which is the previous support line here. So there was a support line here when the stock was trading well. This line held for the lows here. It held here with double bottom support for the lows somewhere here and here. Now once this line was broken, so once we get the break right here, this line becomes resistance, so we can extend the same line. And you see what happens, that after the break here, which is this slight movement, this gives us the current daily closing high there. Again, resistance on the same level, which is the high there. So what was support became resistance. And again, we see the repeat of the same thing. There was an attempt to hold support here. Again, we broke below that at some point. This break below that support line during this period. And since then, the stock has failed to move above that same line there for the highs here. And over the last week or so, we've seen after this resistance confirmed here by the RSI failing to move above this range, that we've slowly rolled over. Now keep in mind, the stock should remain under downside pressure as long as the daily RSI continues trading below 30.9. Again, some of the reasons that explain why the stock has been off the highs and is drifting lower. From a technical standpoint, we can see the biggest takeaway here is that the stock was failing to hold and move its RSI to new highs. As the stock was making improvements here, the RSI was showing resistance on this trend line. That's the main takeaway. That's why the stock is off the highs. Eric Mother with mother.com. As always, good luck, peace, and blessings. ESC.